Good morning, dear students. Welcome back. In today's biology class, we are going to discuss about the continued concept in the chapter organism and population. In previous classes, we started this chapter with the biotic components, because in the organism there are two types of the components or factors are coming. Those are called as a biotic factors and abiotic factors. In previous class already we discussed biotic factors, nothing but a biotic components. Those are nothing but a producers, consumers and decomposers. Already you know that producers we are going to take an as an example of plants. Plants are responsible for the producing the all type of the food activities. So next, consumers. In the consumers which are depend upon the producers are called as a consumers. In that there are three types are there. First one, primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers, like that C1, C2, C3. And next we know that all these activities are completed as a producers, consumers, then another activities will be started, that is called as a decomposers. So these are all three biotic components or factors we discussed in previous classes. Let us start the today's class. We discussed about the abiotic factors or abiotic components. These abiotic components are these are correlated with the biotic factors. Then what are those abiotic factors? Just think about, dear students, example is like as these consist of sunlight. Yeah, we must be required the sunlight for in both in plants and in animals. We must be have which one the main important factor? Sunlight for all type of the metabolic activities. And second one, soil. So soil is also a major abiotic factors. And next, water. Water also requirement for the all type of the living organism, and it's also a major abiotic factors. And pH concentration, that is hydrogen ion concentration. If it will be high or it will be low, then it must be affected to the living organism, both in plants and in also animals. That's why the pH also play very important role as a abiotic components. Next, temperature. Temperature, it is a major abiotic factors. We are going to discuss the what is temperature, water, soil, about those major abiotic factors in later classes. Then come next one, the dissolved gases. Like what are those dissolved gases? Like that oxygen is there, carbon dioxide. These must be required to the organism for the purpose of respiration. Plants required carbon dioxides, animals requires oxygens. So those are also a nothing but a abiotic factors. Next, the mineral salts. So many examples of mineral salts are there. That's best example which is present in the soil as a sulfate, phosphate. We call it is a phosphorus. Sulfate is a phosphate is there, nitrate is there, ammonia. Like that, all the mineral salts also helps to organism for their metabolic activities. Next, as a humic acid, carbohydrates, fats, these are all nothing but organic compounds. These organic compounds for the growth, for the development, for the maturation, for the reproduction purposes are helps to living organisms. So like that, carbohydrates, fats, etc. These are all the examples of abiotic components. These abiotic components plus biotic components are correlated with each other. So let us start the what are those major abiotic components or major abiotic factors. Already we told in this your syllabus they are given as a major abiotic factors like a temperature, like a water and soil. These are the major abiotic factors we are discussed start. Okay, then come to the first major abiotic factor. What is that? Temperature. Dear students, commonly we know that temperature how much helps to us. If temperature increases or if it is decreases, then it will be having some effects on organism. If we are survived in that range of temperature, then we are existed. If we are not survived, then it's problematic to our health conditions or hygienic way. So that's why we go for what is this temperature, how it will be helps to us. Okay, then come. It is the most important ecological factor affecting almost all the metabolic activities of the organisms. Just think what they are going to give. The main important point, what is that? That is called as a metabolic activities. The metabolic activities nothing but those are almost all the growth, development, reproduction, respiration, photosynthesis, transpirations. These are uptake of minerals, that's we call it the ascent of sap. Like these all type of the metabolic activities will be happen only by the which one? Temperature. Best example you can take, what is that? Sunlight. If sunlight is there in plants, which process is going on? Photosynthesis. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಸಂಶ್ಲೇಷಣ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. So like these all metabolic activities happens only by the variation in the temperature, not a constant temperature. Must be think about this word, because all organisms not have a exact one same range of the temperature. There is the different type of the ranges are there in temperature. In that temperature, the organisms do their metabolic activities. Okay, so of the organisms, then there is the most of organism can survive in narrow range of temperature. That will be narrow range. That's it will be less temperature, as you know that ice condition, that's less than 0 degree Celsius temperature, or it's very hot condition up to the 35 degree Celsius. In this between, the most of the organisms will be existed, can be survived. So that's why they are saying that most of organisms can survive in the narrow range. It is not a constant temperature. Narrow, in between 0 to 35 degree Celsius. Okay, then come next we discussion about the what are those effect of temperature on two living organisms. What are those? First one is that plants, and second one is that animals. How this temperature affects on plants? First we can go into see the first effect on temperature on plants. See, the metabolic reactions like transpiration, next mineral absorption, water uptake and reproduction in plants are affected by changes in temperature. Already I told you the most of the metabolic activities which is takes place in the plants and animals are all will be happen which is changes in the temperature. How it is? What are those? The metabolic reactions like first one transpiration. ಸೊ ಬಾಷ್ಪ ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, ಆವಿಯಾಗುವಿಕೆ. ದ ವಾಟರ್, ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋಸ್, ದ ವಾಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಇವಾಪೊರೇಟೆಡ್. ದಟ್ ಇವಾಪೊರೇಷನ್ must be required temperature. If the temperature somewhat it will be increases, not as a constant 0 degree Celsius. If it is goes on increases, then this process will be start. What is that process? Transpiration, meaning is that evaporation. If it is fixed, it is 0 degree Celsius, then there is no evaporation because that is the ice condition. Those all water droplets are present on the leaf. They must be evaporated when the temperature will be changes, increases 0 to 5, 5 to 10 like this. Then the transpiration process will be start. Along with the transpiration, next mineral absorption. Yeah, plants are responsible for the absorption of the minerals which is present in the soil, like that sulfate, phosphate, nitrate. These are all minerals are responsible for the plants for their growth and development. Nothing but metabolic activities. That also takes place due to the one major abiotic factor. What is that? That's nothing but a temperature. That's why the temperature play a very important role in the mineral absorption process. Next one is that's we call it is a water uptake. Yeah, there is the same some vascular bundles are there in the plants. We know that those are called as a phloem and xylem. How these complex tissues or vascular bundles are acts? These are responsible for the conducting the water and food. Like that, the phloem is responsible for conducting of food and xylem is responsible for the conducting of water. Those xylem must be under the action when the temperature will be required to the that cell body, that plant cell body. Then only the xylem are responsible for the conducting the water. Like that, dear students, you must be remember the water uptake. It's also called as a ascent of sap. This ascent of sap requires the temperature. Temperature play very important role. That's why I told you in the presence of sunlight, the all plants are responsible for the preparation of their own food. For this reason, they are called as a autotrophic in nature. That's why this is play very important role in this all activities. Okay. Next, and this is obviously reproduction. The reproduction must be takes place under the temperature conditions because plants are also undergoing to the some asexual type of the reproduction. In that, the fragmentation process is there, spore formation is there, budding is there. Like this, so many asexual type of the reproductions are there. Those takes place due to the temperature condition, changes in the temperature. These are all affected by changes in temperature. Means all metabolic activities of the plants must be happen. The major abiotic factor, what is that? That's nothing but a temperature. Then come next one. What is that? All metabolic reactions are controlled by enzymes. Dear students, you must be remember this word. These enzymes are almost all responsible for the all type of the metabolic reaction which is takes place in the plants and also in the animals. So these enzymes must be action due to the changes in the temperature. Next, the rate of transpiration increases with the increase of temperature. The rate of transpiration, that's why I told you the first metabolic reactions. What is that? Transpiration. This transpiration will be changed when increases. Transpiration increases with the increase of temperature. If temperature increases, transpiration process also become a increases. When the temperature is become low or decreases, then what happens? See, the minerals tightly attached to soil. This is the very important thinking concept. Very general aspect. What is that? You must be asked the one question. Sir, yes, temperature increases, transpiration also increases. If suppose temperature decreases, then what happens? Then the main important one is that is the minerals tightly attached to the soil. They remain tightly attached to the soil only. Mineral which is present in the soil, there must be uptake. Uptake means temperature must be required because there is the enzymatic activities going on. Those enzymes are required temperature. That temperature will be more, then only rate of transpiration also become increases. If temperature will decreases, then slowly it is also decreases. Why? Means the mineral which is present in the soil that's not reaches to the top part, upper part of the plants. So that's way the minerals tightly attached to the soil. Then there is the metabolic activity like a transpiration will be stopped. So due to this reason, how the temperature will very important for the organism like a plant. Then come next, the many species of plants. This is very important point, dear student, you must be remember. The many species of plant show flowering with low temperature treatment. Low temperature treatment, and this phenomenon is called vernalization. What is that? Vernalization. What is vernalization? It's asked for you as a 1 mark question. Define vernalization. The many species of plant shows flowering with, they are going to show the flowering, blooming of flower takes place with low temperature treatment, and this process is called as a vernalization. So your best example, we know that in the house we are going to making a flowering of some plants, those flowering plants, those require some low treatment of the temperature. If it is in the natural, in the outside the house, so then it required the more. If it is required more means, then also some plants are responsible for the development. But in that some categories of the plants which is present in the money plants we called, these are present in house, so those required low temperature treatment for the flowering purposes. This type of the phenomenon or process is called as a vernalization. Must be remember this point, it's asked for you as a 1 mark question. The many species of plant show flowering with low temperature treatments. So this phenomena is called as a vernalization. Okay, so this is the idea about the temperature which is effect on the plants, whether it is increases or decreases, it must have the some effects. Okay, then come next, effect of temperature on animals, the another living organism. What is that? Animals. First point, it affects the reproductive capacity and enzyme. It's the enzyme linked chemical reactions in the cells. It affects reproductive capacity of organisms and enzyme linked chemical reactions in the cells. So that's why you must remember, already I told you the main important concept which is affected by the temperature, it's also a reproduction. If temperature is more and more, then the organisms are responsible for the reproduction process, and some organisms are tolerate in a low temperature level also. But whatever may be, the temperature helps to organism in the way of reproduction, and also enzyme linked chemical reactions. Best example, you know that there is the glycolysis pathways are there, Krebs cycles are there, Kelvin cycles are there, photosynthesis cycles are there. These are all will be takes place abiotic factors along with the enzymes. If the enzymes are there, then only the reaction will be possible. That's we call it as a chemical reactions. In the glycolysis, you must remember it's having a 10 steps. In that 10 steps, you are going to see almost all there is a 6 to 7 enzymes are there. All enzymes play very important role in the conversion of the substrate into the product. So that's way the enzymes are act like as an catalyst. You know that word. So that's way the enzyme linked chemical reactions in the cells, it's also possible by the temperature which is takes place in animals. Okay, next, it also affects, see what is that, growth, development and morphology in our animals. Best example you can think about the human. Okay, in the human almost all we require the temperature of our body, that's internal temperature. That internal temperature will be helps us to in the metabolic reactions, and that conditions we also called as a homeostatic condition. You must remember this word, the regulation of the temperature in internally. So that's method, that process is called as a homeostatic. We are in the homeostatic conditions. So like that, if the temperature is there, then the enzyme capacity, enzyme linked reactions are going on. Like that, it also affects the first one, the growth of the organisms. Next, development, all parts are developed, we must be required the temperature, and also a morphology. Just example is that external layer of our body, what is that? Skin. Skin required must and should temperature, because it want to produces the melanocyte cells. Those melanocyte cells are going to produces the which pigment? That is called as a melanin pigment. That melanin pigment must be required, must be action in the presence of temperature. So that's where, dear students, the hormones or enzymes are all metabolic activities. If it is takes place, if the condition of the temperature will be in a almost fluctuation range. It's not a constant. Constant also problematic. Completely low also problematic. Completely high also problematic. It must be under the fluctuation. Then only it will be possible. Like that. It also affects the growth, development and morphology. Then come the another, there are based on this temperature changes, there are two types of the organisms are there. The first type of organisms we call it is a eurythermal organisms, and second one is called as a stenothermal organism. Dear students, these two questions in the examination corner, they ask for you as a 2 marks question. What is eurythermal organism? Give an example. What is stenothermal organisms? Give an example. These are the two very important points you must be remember in this concept. What are those? What is that eurythermal? See, those animals are those organisms which can tolerate and thrive in a wide range of temperatures. In a wide range of temperature are called as a eurythermal. Just see the words. Thermal we must be remember as a temperature. So wide range of temperature. Those organisms are those animals which can tolerate in a wide range of temperatures are called as a eurythermal organism. Best example we only. They are given as a man, frog, toad, lizards, cyclops, like that many examples are there. Just think about, if the temperature is also become a less than 10 degrees Celsius, then also we can survive. If temperature goes to 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, then also we can survive. This type of fluctuation type of the temperature we call it is a wide range of temperature. That type of the condition is called as a eurythermal condition, and those organisms are called eurythermal organisms. Just think about this word. Then come to the second one. What is that? Stenothermal organisms. What is that? Those animals which can tolerate a narrow range of temperature, particularly one temperature, not more than that temperature will be raised, not less. In a optimum level of temperature, we call it is a narrow range of temperature. Optimum level, that's those animals which tolerate a narrow range of temperature are called as a stenothermal organism. Best example you can know about the fishes, snail. When the snails are coming outside, you must remember in the rainy seasons, not in the summer condition. Are you seeing the summer condition snail? Snail, best example in Kannada we call it is a Basavana hulu. So these snails, when the rainy season is started, climate is become cool. That time these are surviving. Like that fishes also. If the temperature goes on increases means, then it will be affected to the fish's metabolic activities. Then these are become die. So due to this reason, dear students, the optimum level of temperature condition is called as a stenothermal, and wide range of temperature condition is called as a eurythermal. These two are very, very important for you. Okay, remember these are the points which is we can study in today's class. That should be a abiotic components, and we discussed about the major one factor, that is nothing but a temperature. In next class we can come along with the another major abiotic factors. Okay, dear students, thank you.